This is Fred Beck. This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined by Mams Taylor today on two lovely red comfy seats. We'll just go straight into it today then.
That's why you want these interviews here, for the red seats.
All part of the branding.
Yeah.
Branding's very important.
You should pay me for the branding, Frederick.
Well, I'm giving you this massive opportunity, having Prime here right now. So that's how nice I'm being for you. So you should count your cards right.
Speed. We got
Arsenal today, I think.
Arsenal,
Barcelona.
We've had Arsenal.
Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and then Fred Talks Fighting.
Fred Talks Fighting.
Yeah.
You wish. You only wish.
No, I can't afford you.
Anyway, Misfits 14 saw Papy headlining against an unknown opponent, but an opponent who's very well recognised in the country of Poland. Tell me about this main event.
Super Salt Papy, the return, man. I'm very excited about it. I think he's very excited about it, and he's very game. He's very game, and I love that in any of our fighters. You know, like, look, there are different standards and everything, and Salt Papy's he was right up there as a prospect until I f***ed it up and put him against AT. Yeah, But to be fair, I love AT. Yeah, company man, great guy. But Salt Papy, his style was meant to continue rising, and then I think he made some mistakes against Slim. Listen, they're both really embody the soul of influencer boxing, both Slim and Salt Papy. You know, I think I'd like to see Slim do more content and be more active with that stuff, but you know, in the ring, he's proven himself, hasn't he? So you've got to give him kudos. But I'd like to see that fight again another 2-3 times. And, you know, I think it was an exciting one. And but before Salt Papy gets a rematch, he's got to, which is what he wants. He wants to eradicate his losses. He wants to beat Salt Papy. He wants to beat Slim. He wants to beat AT and avenge his losses. But I said, like, I spoke to Slim about it, and to be fair, Slim's got a point that Salt kind of has to earn it back, you know. So Salt's like, yeah, I'm down to earn it back, and he's not fighting an easy opponent, Fred. You know, he's a loose cannon, Amadeus Ferrari. He's done 500,000 pay-per-views in Poland, headlining a show. He's done 200,000 pay-per-views recently as well, so headlining a show again. So the guy does numbers. He's one of the biggest Twitch streamers from Poland, I think, if not the biggest. And he's a bit unpredictable. And he's coming to fight. He believes he's going to win this fight. Salt Papy believes he's going to win this fight, and that's what you want. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a great main event. I see people saying, why not Salt Papy versus Kenny? And the fact of the matter is, I think both of them, coming from a loss, they need to. I think we got to rebuild. We got to build it to a point where maybe they both win this and they face each other, and the winner of that gets a title shot against Slim. You know, that kind of makes more sense to me.
It's all about the story.
It's about the story. I love the story.
What weight will this Salt Papy fight be at?
This fight will be at 170.
170, okay.
Yeah.
So you're going back up 5 pounds. Do you think he's better at a bit heavier weight class, Salt Papy?
Not necessarily, no. I think sometimes when you cut a lot of weight quickly, that could be the problem. Maybe he should have taken more time and to drop the weight, but the opportunity was there, and you know, he is. I think even at 165, he still carries a little bit of body weight he could lose, you know? So he's got to, that's his journey to figure out, and his coach, who, you know, I respect very highly, they've got to figure out what his optimum performance will be at what weight, you know? And once they figure that out, and that's a journey for every boxer, you know? So I think he was doing extremely well in that fight. So I don't think the weight was necessarily the problem. He was winning round 1 and 2, wasn't he? Then I think he tried some new things, which weren't part of the playbook that he had, and he got caught for it. And Slim was right there to capitalize, and you got to give him credit for that. You know, he rose to the occasion and took that belt away.
Certainly. I guess Well, Kenny, you say that they could do the Stop Happy fight versus Kenny. They both come through, but Kenny's got a very tough fight, and Adam Brooks, obviously coming off of one of the spectacular knockouts in Misfits in York Hall back in November. Kenny versus Adam Brooks. I feel like a lot of people will be overlooking Adam because of his age, but he really does bring it.
Adam can bang. He's a goer. He wants to fight. He's going to bring the fight. We want exciting fights, and I think that is one. And to Kenny's credit, he had an option. He had a few options, and he chose the toughest one in my estimation, in Adam. So I think both of them winning this fight would definitely be very credible victories for them. And listen, Adam Brooks and Amadeus Ferrari have other plans.
Certainly. You never know, it might be Amadeus Ferrari versus Adam Brooks. Imagine that.
That would bang too, you know. Adam's done really well, and I think he's not to be underestimated. He's there for a scrap, you know. So let's see how it plays out.
And then the women's fight, which is probably, well, you could arguably say is the best fight on the card in terms of Julie Pucker versus Barbie. Now, this was meant to be the Kingpins final, so technically you're putting the final on, even though the King Kenny versus Gibb final never got put on. But in terms of this fight, the women's boxing match, is it five 2-minute rounds? Is that correct?
5 2-minute rounds. All title fights are now 5 rounds.
Okay.
All main events should be 5 rounds. Maybe there'll be exceptions, you know. But on the whole, that's the plan. And I'm really excited about that fight. I think it's Julie Podka she's an absolute unit. She's a beast. But Barbie is no slouch, and she's been training with one of the best in Malik Scott for a long time now. She's been waiting for this fight. She's been really hungry to fight. So it's another 50-50 fight. Will she do enough to take that title? You know?
Certainly. One other woman who's very well known, I guess, in the football industry, who's been training with Malik Scott, is Kate Abdul. That's how you pronounce the name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kate Abdul. Can you expect her or Misfits? You've spoken to her? Any fight negotiations? You've been talking?
I've been speaking to Malik, and she's planning to make her Misfits and boxing debut this year. So I'm lining up some opponents. Actually had a really big name opponent I'm speaking to for Kate for later this year. So I think that there's so many good big names right now that I'm talking to that it's gotten me really excited for the future.
We've seen NBA YoungBoy come out on Twitter saying he's going to stop going so hard with the music and start kind of grinding more on the boxing. Can we expect NBA YoungBoy to be on Misfits this year?
If he's going to box, I'd say so, yeah. You know, but let's see. Look, obviously massive star, massive following. His YouTube numbers were just something else for music. If he's dedicated to boxing, then we're the only platform for him, and I think he's... I've reached out to his team, and let's see where the conversations go. We wake up sometimes wanting to do something. In a week from now, will he still be wanting to do that? In a month from now, will he be wanting to do that? If the answer is yes, then I think we can do something great with him.
Okay, interesting. That'd be a great US fight to have over Hatiz.
We've got some. Speaking of US rappers, we've got some really big names we're talking to as well. Other than NBA, obviously, we've got some massive ones. That I think what's happened is people are starting to realize there is no stigma, and it elevates and it magnifies the things that you're doing, rather than oh, this is a career reviver. Like, I think white collar boxing used to be looked upon like a little bit of a celebrity Big Brother type thing, where you've got a dead career and you come to revive it. That's changed now, and I think KSI led the pathway with that. I think boxing was a big part of his brand and is still for KSI. You know, I think it ultimately helped every other avenue. Every other revenue stream he had, it magnified and amplified because of the boxing. It's something so primarily interesting to us as men, you know, and women too, but more so as men. Like, it's something you want to watch. You want to watch two people fight. You want to fight. You have that instinct, and settling a score in the ring under a safe, controlled environment is the best way to go about it. So I think we're all it's a smart play for anyone who wants to
amplify what they're doing.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Interesting. It is good. It's definitely.
Speaking of US rappers, let's go to UK rappers. We've got a big one on this card, don't we, Frederick?
Well, I spoke to Ryan Taylor. I've called him, and to his credit, he did pick up, which is very, very nice. I called him yesterday on WhatsApp, saying we do an interview. We got it scheduled for a bit later on, and he's fighting Mist. And he actually, it's not like one of those fights where you put two people together. They've actually got a bit of backstory. They've got a bit of history, his story in this fight.
They've got a lot of history. They used to be very, very close friends. From my understanding, they were best of mates. And there was some disagreement over a song, and Ryan felt really betrayed, and Mist felt like, look, this is my craft, so I get to decide who I want to work with, and whatever else with that. I think that's how it started, and it elevated from there. And when I was speaking to Ryan about this, he's like, we've got proper history. We've been in fights together against other people. We've been in fights against each other. This is the time where we want to settle the score. And Mist posted on his Instagram as well, this is what I've wanted. Mm-hmm. So the grudge is there.
Has Mist done boxing before? Has he trained before? Is this new to him? I guess he's had fights before. That's definitely 100% thing to say.
I saw him do a body spar with Modine in a parking lot. Did you see that?
No, not yet. That's a very Modine thing to do.
Yeah, and you weren't supposed to punch in the face. It was just body shots. Yeah. Bit like the Jake Paul Tyson fight that's coming, probably. You can't edit your face out of this. I know you found that more amusing than you let on, Fred. So yeah, ultimately, I think it's going to be really interesting, and Modine Modine was complaining because I think Mist hit him in the face by mistake or something. It was a really fun watch. You guys should watch that. But Mist looks like he can. He's very confident, and he can scrap. So can Ryan. Let's see how it goes.
Will we see Modine in Misfits again this year, do you reckon? Will he make his return?
Not unless I see some serious sparring footage from him where he's dedicated and taking the time to really improve his craft. Because look, he does have some viewers, he has some fans, he's very funny. Intentionally or not, he does make people laugh, and he's a nice kid. He's a really nice guy. I was quite appalled by the performance that night, to be honest with you. And look, I know it's not easy to get in the ring. Right. So you credit people to do that. But once you're in there, come on, let your hands go, That night was just a bit cursed when it comes to people wanting to fight. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'd like to see him improve and develop. And listen, get in better shape and get fit. He's a character. He's a misfit. But the other part of being a misfit is you got to fight, Mm-hmm. So
Misfit kind of suits him quite well. Staying on the topic of streamers, N3ON was there that night in Nashville, obviously doing his thing. He got a little bit of beef, a little bit of trouble. But what about N3ON fighting on Misfits? Have you spoken to him? Is there any movement there?
Speaking to him all the time.
Is it difficult to work with N3ON? Is he fun to work with? Is he different? Is he still speaks very fast, rushes on the phone?
You speak very fast, Frederick, as well,
So me interviewing N3ON was very quick. It was a 2-minute interview.
You have to put subtitles on it. Look, N3ON has been... I don't know, because I know when I've said nice things about N3ON, the internet has very mixed... Or they don't really take it out of context, Fred. They just don't necessarily... Some people don't like him, Right. I don't know enough about why, but my interactions with him, he's a lovely boy. Very, very nice to work with. Very easy. And he's very excited. So that's what I like. I like people who are excited about what they're doing. That, it's not just about, oh, how much am I making? It's more about, I can't wait to actually do this, in front of a big audience and have people watching me. Again, go back to my primal instincts and fight.
Have you seen a streamer, I'm going a bit off topic here, have you seen a streamer called Sketch?
Yeah.
Sketch. He's my new favourite streamer.
Really?
Have you ever spoken to him at all?
I have not.
You've seen all the memes when people go, hello brother, you seen one of those?
Yeah, I have. Fred, you should do some streaming too, I think.
Streaming?
Yeah.
It's quite a cool idea. Someone gave me the idea that, I guess Misfits got the kind of partnership with Kick. I know they're involved with Kick. It's someone, if I had a cameraman filming me around on fight night or on fight week, just videoing me, going interacting with everyone, doing all the interviews. I think it might be quite interesting. Or really boring.
Yeah, maybe don't do streaming. Yeah, you should. Give it a try.
Streaming what? Like how Aiden does, where you react to people, or what?
Look, I'm from a different generation, so I can't watch someone for 7 hours just doing nothing. I can't. Yeah, there's so many things I'd rather do. But, that's what the kids love now. This audience loves watching that, so maybe it's something you should try.
But is it one of those things where it's hot for 6 months and then dies down? Do you see it staying around?
No, I think it's staying around. Right. Look, I think a lot of people, they prefer to watch YouTube than they watch TV, or they stream a lot more. No one really watches terrestrial television anymore, do they, as much? Things just keep evolving into a different direction, whether it's good or bad, But personally, I like, when I get time, I just watch The Gentleman, The Gentlemen. The movie's amazing, but the TV show is very good as well. And I had one day I was a bit under the weather and I watched the whole thing in like a day and a half and binge watched it. Otherwise, I don't really get time for stuff. So when I do, I binge watch and just a show or something like that. But I don't think I could have the patience to watch you streaming for 7 hours, or anyone, literally. So,
can you invite Guy Ritchie to Misfits event? Can you make that happen? He loves his boxing at the end of the day. He must have heard of Misfits.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe he'll fight on Misfits someday. Maybe you want to meet him to direct your new streaming career. Yeah. Guy Ritchie, yeah?
Guy Ritchie's, they consist of fighting, stakes. His movies consist, or TV series consist of, lots of boxing and lots of steak. Two things we love. I
think he's, from my understanding, both him and Jason Statham and a few other celebs are like brown or black belts in jiu-jitsu. So that's no easy feat. It's not like a karate black belt. No disrespect to karate. Like, it takes a long time to become a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Okay, just a couple more things before I let you go. KSI, boxing again this year. Is it going up? Is it going down? Where are we standing with this?
We're standing on business, Frederick.
Okay. Are we going to hear anything anytime soon? Will it be an announcement after the next Misfits? Will he be at the next Misfits?
Oh, yes, he will 100% be at the next Misfits.
Will KSI make a return to music this year? I'm only asking this because I saw a lot of people commenting on Twitter. A lot of people asking.
We are standing on business, Fredericks.
That's what the proper Loud PR team have told you to say. Deji, will he return this year?
We are yeah, he will. I think he will. I believe he will. I've spoken to him about it. I'm excited about getting Deji in the ring, man. He's a talented guy. If Deji can dedicate his time to it, I think he'd be one of the best on the scene.
Will Deji get the six-pack? £1 million?
Not looking good, is it? I mean, if that's not motivation, I hope he does.
Well, how are you meant to get Deji a fight on Misfits to tell him, Deji, come get punched in the face? For probably, I guess he's getting paid a little bit under £1 million. So why not just, if in Deji's point of view, why not say, Deji, just get the six-pack first. Don't get punched in the face. Just do a bunch of sit-ups. Don't eat. Get a six-pack and get £1 million.
It's that simple, is it?
Yeah, I'll say so. Yeah. For £1 million, that little feat is simple.
It is, to be honest with you, I think once you've had abs, it's a lot easier to get them again because you've got the muscle memory, But as you get older, it becomes a little bit more difficult, and I think Deji can do it. He just needs to dedicate himself. Diet is very, very important. It's really probably 80% of it. And if you're exercising and running and doing abdominal routines, then yeah, I don't see why he can't have a six-pack within probably, honestly, 8 weeks of hard work. I think he could do it. When's the deadline for this million? Do you know?
I think it's in July sometime.
Shit, I mean, we're cutting it close, but he should get started now.
Yeah. The fan has just come through on Twitter saying, how is Petrie?
Petrie is now a rooster who attacks everyone except me. I love Petrie. And his girlfriend Teague, who's the sweetest. But they've got offspring now. So they've got 5 little chicks. I'm waiting to see if they're male or female, so I can decide where to locate them, because you don't want 2 roosters in a coop.
Yeah, I don't know. No fights. Anyway, that's a wrap. Pretty good.
That's it.